What's up, everybody? Dr. Jeff, Rythmia Life Advancement Center. So, first of all, I want to say happy birthday to my business partner and homie, Jerry Gerard Powell. Jerry and I met when he came to the rehab that I was managing 11, almost 12 years ago. And Jerry was struggling with a lot of issues, not just substance abuse, but emotional stuff, marital stuff, family dynamics. It was really rough. And he came into my office, and what I would do when new guests arrive is I would interview everybody, and I would say, who their treatment team should be, because I saw, what their needs were, right? So Jerry was no exception. He came into my facility and he sat down and he just said one thing: "Can you help me?" That's all he said. "Can you help me? Can you fix me?" And I said this is what I said: "You can fix yourself. And I know you can." And what we did at this rehab called Passages is we created an environment where he could fix himself. And it involved a lot of therapy, involved a lot of meditation, a lot of body work, spiritual mind treatment, positive thinking, family therapy, involved Michael Beckwith's Agape on the weekend. At first, Jerry didn't want to go to Agape because he thought it was church. So he didn't want to go there. And again, just to remind everybody, the reason I'm talking about Jerry today is because it's his birthday. Happy birthday, dude. And Jerry eventually ended up going to Agape and meeting Michael Beckwith. And I would send, a bus or a van full of guests to Agape every weekend, for years. And Michael Beckwith and I became friends because he always noticed there was these people coming that really needed the help. And Jerry was one of those. And he really resonated with the message that was taught by the Rev. And Jerry stayed at our facility for 60 days. And he kicked his Demerol habit. And he got some clarity on a lot of things. But then what happened was he went back to his old behaviors. Not with Demerol, but with anxiety and anger and sadness and suicidal thoughts. And, he had achieved everything in the world that people think makes you happy, money and material items and, just all this stuff that everybody tells you that is important in the world. We all need money to survive. That's not what I'm saying. Like, obviously we need to pay bills, but Jerry had achieved, this status of luxury that was not making him happy. And, he was just lost. He was lost. And what I decided to do after I left Passages is I worked with him as a life coach and a counselor for about 5 years. And I tried to, get him to get off the path he was on, which was totally out of control. He was fighting people at restaurants and doing drugs, not Demerol, but he was doing cocaine and drinking and womanizing. He was going through a really rough divorce, and it was just rough. It was just a rough existence, and he was just confused and lost, and he wasn't happy. And then he heard about plant medicine, and he heard from a friend of mine who was a shaman, and she guided him to a place in Costa Rica. And he said, "You know what, I'm just going to do it because I don't know what else to do. I'm suicidal again, and I'm lost, and I feel hopeless, and I'm at the end of my rope." And he asked me what I should do. And I said, "Dude, you try anything you possibly can." I have a background in medical anthropology, and I just suggested, I knew a little bit about plant medicine, but not a lot. I was no expert. I knew nothing really about it. I said, "Give it a try, just do it." He went to Costa Rica, did plant medicine, changed his life. So what happened after that is really interesting because he wanted me to see what it was about. And so I went down myself a couple weeks later and did it. and it changed my life as well. And we decided that we wanted to open a place that had all the modalities that helped Jerry and helped me to some degree, but mostly Jerry. Plant medicine, meditation, yoga, classes that are informative, healthy spot, blue zone in Costa Rica, really good food, good quality food, all kinds of really amazing staff, and a facility that can help people plug into themselves and get healing and get connected. So continual change is the topic of this Facebook Live, and the reason I said that is because we're always evolving, we're always changing, we're always learning. You know, Jerry is a young guy right now. He still is. He's young. And he's evolving, and he's changing, and he's learning. And he just wrote something really cool on Facebook today on the Rythmia Facebook page. Also has his own personal Facebook page about what COVID has meant to him in the last 3 months. It's been a really epic sort of self-awareness vibe. I would suggest you go read that. And then I suggest you go get the book that he wrote called Shit the Moon Said. And it's a really good book. And it's also a little video that goes along with it. You can find it on YouTube and on our Rythmia Facebook page, because it explains like what we're doing. And what we're doing is trying to help people that feel desperate. You know, we all saw, you know, especially me in the Western medical model, that things were not easy for people that struggle, you know, whether they have addiction, anxiety, depression, a long list of meds, suicidal history, attachment disorder, personality disorders. I like to call them so-called personality disorders. All my psychology friends want to hang me when I say that, but it's okay. I believe that every situation that's problematic can be resolved with somebody who's focused and really wants to do it. Also, we believe that all disease, all dysfunction, all disorders are a result of being unplugged from your true self. When you're really plugged into your true self, you can heal yourself. And your body is an amazing mechanism to overcome things. And your psyche and your will, power, and all this stuff that exists for you is really important to be plugged in and to know who you are as a person, to move forward in life. Now, continual change means I'm always learning, evolving, and growing. The more you learn, the more you know, the less that you really realize that you know, right? That's how it goes. You know, if you ask the Dalai Lama, like, what does he know, right? He'll say, I don't know anything. You know, I'm just learning like a child, right? So it's important to have an open mind, an open heart, and we're excited to have you guys come back down to Rythmia soon. You know, we're trying to change the individual and help them get healing and get the peace of mind that we got when we did plant medicine, when we did these sort of different modalities. And, you know, I always like to talk about this just, you know, briefly for a moment here and there. And, you know, there's a lot of people out in the world that don't want to change. And there's a lot of people that want to put down and push down things that are helping society. And there's a lot of people out there that are just really what's going on with them is they're just hurt. They're just hurt individuals. And people that want to push down something that's so positive and so helpful to so many people, and they want to like harp on it and just show all the flaws. And, you know, we got flaws. Everybody has flaws. We're human. And what I've realized is those people themselves are just really in need of healing. You know, they're just really hurting themselves deep down inside. I just want to say to all the critics and all the people the haters and all the trolls and all the people that are, you know, looking to try to like look for reasons that, you know, plant medicine doesn't work or Rythmia doesn't work and why it's so bad, is that I just wanted to tell them to, like, you know, go look at the statistics of healthcare. And healthcare, you know, look at the opiate pandemic. You know, look at the opiate epidemic, right? I've got pandemic on my mind, sorry. Go look at, you know, how many people are on antidepressants. Go look at the mental health problem. I'm in downtown LA right now, and the homeless population has grown from, used to be over here a couple blocks away. It's grown 4 or 5 blocks towards where I'm at on Broadway here, 10th and Broadway. And it's because society's failing. beast people, And the Reagan years, Reagan cut a lot of mental health spending. A lot of people got put on the streets that were mentally ill. And they've been there ever since. And that there's just not a lot of resources for people. And meds don't always work, and it just numbs people out. It's just like a crappy way to live, in the Western sort of culture. If you go to like in the indigenous communities, there isn't a lot of this mental illness going on because people recognize and see the benefit of people that have a different view of like what's going on. Their reality is a little different. Now, of course, in the Western world, we're tainted by stuff and there's things going on. But, I just want to encourage you guys to really look at like what's happening in the world and focus on yourself first. Get healed. Don't worry about people that, criticize you or talk down to you or try to, debunk you. It's okay. It's okay. They're just hurting. They're just trying to get healing themselves, And I love those people, because they keep me on my toes, There's never a shortage of those people out there trying to debunk all the stuff I'm doing, and just look at my resume, It's a Western resume. So it's really, whatever. It's got me to the place I'm at right now, but it's not the end all be all. I've learned a ton from Taita Juanito, Carlos, and Mitra, and Leo, all the shamans I work with, and Jerry, happy birthday, Jerry, again. And I just want to just send you guys peace, love, continued growth, always changing, always evolving, always learning. Get down to Rythmia. We're taking people. We already have bookings going down. Give us a buzz. We'll see you guys soon. I'm happy to meet you. I'll be down there a couple weeks, and I'll be teaching some classes. I'm happy to meet with you and talk to you. I'm excited to see all you guys. All right, you guys, pura vida from downtown Los Angeles, mi barrio. Nos vemos. Chao, hermanos. Pura vida.